Hopefully she'll be able to answer some of these questions that are coming our way. Well, let's move on. Mathematics will no longer be a compulsory subject for learners transitioning to senior secondary school.
Additionally, in a bid to promote diversity, the government has proposed a new policy limiting the number of students from one junior school who can join the same senior school to just 5.
Now, these changes, among the most radical introduced under the competency-based curriculum, are expected to reshape how students select the academic paths.
Well, our education reporter, Lewis Nyaundi, with the details.
The Ministry of Education has outlined the new structure for senior school, where English or Kenya Sign Language, Kiswahili, physical education and community service learning will be the only compulsory subjects. Beyond this, students will have the freedom to choose from 38 elective subjects, allowing them to tailor their academic pathways.
That is why we are saying English is part of the core subjects in senior school. We have Kiswahili as another core subject. So physical education then becomes a core subject. Another core is the community service learning.
This marks a departure from the outgoing 844 system, where mathematics was a core subject alongside English, Kiswahili, and at least 2 sciences selected from physics, chemistry, or biology. Speaking to KTN Basic Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang confirmed that learners set to join senior school in January will begin selecting their subjects and preferred institutions in the second term of this year. The ministry has also proposed capping the number of students transitioning from one junior school to the same senior school at a maximum of 5. If implemented, this policy will promote diversity in student placement. However, stakeholders argue that it could be challenging, particularly for day schools, which typically enroll students from nearby areas. The first cohort of senior secondary learners will report in January next year, with placement influenced by the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, KJSEA, which students will sit at the end of this year. The Kenya National Examination Council announced on Thursday that KJSEA score will be determined based on the students' performance in primary school, internal assessments conducted by teachers, and their score in the national KJSEA assessment at the end of the year. The results of the assessment will constitute 60% of their final score and will partly determine the placement in senior secondary school. The remaining 40% of the final score will be split between scores from internal assessment conducted by classroom teachers, which will account for 20%, and their performance in primary school, which will also contribute to the remaining 20%. The aggregate score will form the final KJSEA score, which, along other factors such as student choice and school capacity, will influence placement in senior school. Learners dissatisfied with their placement will have an opportunity to request transfers subject to the available spaces after reporting. NEC will issue a certificate of completion for all learners finishing secondary school under CBC. Senior school will now be categorized into 3 major academic pathways to cater for the diverse interest and capabilities of learners. The triple pathway schools will offer 3 distinct learning areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, social sciences, and arts and sports. However, students will not be required to take all 3. Instead, they will choose a pathway that aligns with their strengths and aspirations. The double pathway schools will offer a combination of 2 pathways, either STEM and social sciences or STEM and arts. Meanwhile, the vocational and special needs pathway schools will cater for learners with disabilities such as autism, cerebral palsy, and cognitive challenges, focusing on hands-on vocational training tailored to their abilities. While a lot of skepticism still lies on the possibility of having a smooth transition to senior school, the government insists that it's moving to avert mishaps that were witnessed in the transition from primary to junior school. Lewis Nyaundi, KTN.
Well, Lewis Nyaundi, thanks for the breakdown. There you have it. The ministry has outlined the